Hi guys, welcome to Making with Marilyn. On today's video, I'm going to be making a little baby onesie by adding some beautiful HTV to it. This is Siser Easyweed Electric HTV in a bright pink. A friend of mine is having a baby. My friend is a math teacher, and so she likes the symbol pi, the 3.1 something, as opposed to the pie you eat. And she likes to use it as a play on words. So she'll have Pi Day. She wears socks with the symbol pi on them. And so I saw either on Pinterest or YouTube somewhere, someone had put the phrase cutie pie, but using the pi symbol on a shirt or a onesie or something like that. So I thought I would join in and do the same. For today's video, I'll be using Cricut Design Space on my computer. I'll be cutting my design on my Maker. I'll be using a standard grip mat. I might use a ruler. I have all the standard tools: rotary cutter, scissors, a brayer, and a weeding tool. I'll be adhering my design to the onesie with my Cricut Easy Press 2, along with the Cricut heating mat. I'll also use a Teflon sheet. And then last thing I want to use is a block of wood. I like to build up my projects when they're small projects and they have seams that would be under the Easy Press 2. And so I just do something like that. My Easy Press 2 will fit up on this part so it won't hit that seam. And I think that makes it adhere. It gives it a tighter, just a tighter fit and makes it adhere better. So let me get my camera angle changed and I'll be right back. This is pretty close to the way I want it to look, but notice how this C sticks up too high and this T sticks up too high. The U, T, I, and E are all Autumn and November font. I didn't like how the C in that font looked, so I did a C in Magnolia Sky. I also didn't like how low this T had to be in order for it not to show, because I don't want it competing with my pi symbol below. So let me show you what you can do to fix this. Okay, so I want to hide this I, first of all. There we go. And then I want to upload just some basic shape. I don't really care what it is. I do want to turn it pink so I can see it a little better. Okay, so I'm going to make it really small. I'm going to move it over on top of this part of my eye. That's probably good. And then, or I'm sorry, that part of my T. And then I'm going to select those two things and I'm going to click slice. What that's going to do is that's going to get rid of that tail up there. There we go. Now let's put the eye back, and there you go. It looks pretty good. I think I might move it over just a little bit, I think. Oops, wrong one. I actually thought I might have seen the eye poking. Well, you darn T. Let's turn you off for a minute. I thought I might have seen that poking through somewhere in there. I guess not. Okay. So I'll turn my T back on, get it about where I like it, and you can see how that fixed that problem. Let me move my U over just a little bit. Now I can just move this off to the side to do the same thing with it. Let's get some shape. Again, a square's fine. I'm going to turn it to pink, just helps me see it better. Make it smaller. And hopefully I don't cut off too much of this C. I don't think so. And again, I'm going to click slice. And then I have 3 things to delete. And now let's move it over and see how it looks. Okay, I like that. Maybe move my C down just a little bit. So there's my cutie. I like it. So I'm going to select all of it, and then I'm going to go ahead and weld it so that when it cuts, it'll cut as one unit. Now I want to kind of size this. I want my design to be no more than 4.5 inches wide. So let me just go up here and see if I change the width to 4.5. And I like my pie to be pretty big so that that's what stands out. I want to go ahead and align those both horizontally. Now I'm going to go ahead and group them. So at this point, it's 4.5 inches wide, and you can see it's 6.07 tall. That's a little bit taller than I wanted. So let me ungroup. I can move that up just a little bit. I can make my cutie a little bit smaller. Now let's see what I have. So at this point, that's perfect. I didn't want it any taller than 5 inches. And right now it's 4.96, and it's still a good size for a little baby onesie, 4.15, that'll be fine. The last thing I need to do is center them horizontally again, and I'm ready to send it to my maker. So let's click on Make It and see what the screen looks like. Oh, I did not do a very good job. Okay. To make it so that they'll cut together relative to each other without welding them, I can just click Attach. And now they should be in the right position. They are. One thing that I did after I showed you my design is I added just a little box. It's just, you go to Shapes, you add the box, I put it up here. I want to use that as a test cut because I've never cut on this type of vinyl before. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide my design, and I'm going to send this little test cut to my maker. So I will click Continue. I'm going to select Everyday Iron-On and see how that works. I can always add more pressure next time I send it if the test cut shows that that wasn't enough. I want to check my blade, make sure it's clean. Felt like I got something off of that. Put that back in, and now I am ready to send my material to my maker. Let me unload this. Okay, that's coming off perfectly fine. So I will use that same setting. So now I need to go back and bring my design back. This time I'll go ahead and hide my test cut. I'll click, whoops. I'll click Make It. Now I want to make sure that that's moved over just a little bit because I did waste a little bit of vinyl on that test cut. I could have made my test cut even smaller, and I really should have. So I click Continue, select Everyday Iron-On, and it's ready for me to load my mat. Once the Cricut button's flashing, it's ready for me to send it to my maker. Now, mirror on, and done. This means I can unload my material, and we're done with the maker. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. So now I want to cut around my design, getting as close to it as possible. That way I waste as little vinyl as possible in the weeding process. Okay, so let me turn my mat over. Sorry, that was probably really loud. Got my design off. I'll take my vinyl off in a little bit so you don't have to watch that. And I'll go ahead and weed this design. Okay, I can see that that's ready. I'm just going to set it here just to look at it. That's really cute. I read the instructions of the Siser Easyweed Electric HTV on the instructions that came with it, and it said to heat it for 10 seconds on the cotton setting, and that's if you're using an iron. So then I went online and I saw that it said 10 to 15 seconds at 305, and then you repress 5 to 10 seconds after you take the carrier sheet off. So sometimes instructions aren't always exactly consistent, but I'm going to go with the instructions I found online. So I need to set my Easy Press to 305. Oops. And then I'm going to set my time for 10 seconds. We're up to temperature, so I'm going to go ahead and move this out of partial view. We need to get our shirt ready, and so I want to roll it with a lint roller. I did wash this shirt because, I did wash this onesie because it's 100% cotton, and if it was going to shrink, I wanted to shrink it before the vinyl got on. The vinyl won't shrink, so if the onesie or shirt, whatever you're using, shrinks and the vinyl doesn't, it's going to pucker. So I did pre-wash that. I dried it, but I did not use a dryer sheet. I didn't use any fabric softener. That's what I've read to do, is just wash it and don't put any fabric softener with it. Okay, so I'm just going to start by pre-pressing it and getting any moisture pulled out of the fabric. I'm going to do that for about 10 seconds. Then I want to go ahead and do the back as well. You don't need to worry about applying pressure since you're just trying to get the moisture out. Okay. So I know where the middle is because I folded it in two, matching up the edges of the design, and put a crease. And I know the middle of the onesie is about where the tag is. So this is just going to be eyeballed. I want to keep it fairly close up to the top of the onesie, closer than I would on an adult's shirt. So let me lay that down and just kind of eyeball it. So here's what I'm going by. The T is about as close to that as the C is to that, and that's about the most far to the left and right things. And then the pie, which we centered under Cutie, so it is centered even though it kind of looks wonky. It's centered fairly well under the tag, so I think that's what I'm going to go with. And then I want to pull it down so that it's below this seam. The woes of not having more sizes of the Easy Press 2. Okay, we're going to go with that. So again, I'm going to press this for 10 seconds. Online instructions were 10 to 15. I'm going to start with 10. And I'm going to give it some pretty firm pressure. Now the instructions on the roll said to take the, it didn't say to wait any amount of time or anything like that. It didn't say it's a warm peel or a cold peel. It just said press it and take the carrier sheet off. So that's really nice. It's probably difficult to tell in the camera view, but I can see that ouch, that's hot. I can tell that the vinyl has taken on the texture of the onesie. So that's a good thing. Now it said to repress it for 5 to 10 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and go the full 10. Again, I'm going to put some good pressure on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and press it from the back. And there we go, our baby onesie. That's adorable. She'll love it. I'm back to show you the final project, the baby onesie. But before I do, I wanted to give you my thoughts on the material that we used today, the Siser Easyweed Electric HTV. I thought it was really easy to work with. It was super easy to weld. It adhered beautifully to the baby onesie. You can see the texture of the material through the HTV. And so I would definitely purchase other colors of this. The color that I use today is cherry. So if you like this super bright pink color, you will want the cherry. There we are. I think my friend will love it. I think she'll get a big kick out of it. If you like my video today, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or any suggestions, leave them in the comment section. And if you'd like to watch what I'll be working on in the future, hit the subscribe button. Thanks again. I'm Marilyn. Bye-bye.